This video chart presentation is Strategic American Oil Corp. Strategic is a bulletin board listed company trading our ticker SGCA. I'm going to put this chart on radar because it's slid off the last couple days, but you can see from the RSIs, it tends to not want to go into oversold territory. So we're going to identify some support levels and see if this is going to try and once again bounce off of this point. See the MACD's been on a slide. This is coming off its highs up here around 15 cents. Bounced off of 7 cents yesterday. Histogram bars are still trending back towards zero. Let's keep our eyes peeled for some sort of rotation in the 12. That's the orange line. Similar look to the PPO. ADX down pretty low, bouncing off of 10. Seen a pretty nice uptrend in the MFI recently. Accumulation distribution, that's a great look to that. There's accumulation going on in this stock. And that's reiterated by this shaking money flow, showing buying pressure has clearly been dominant over selling pressure. And that even goes back into here when the stock was still trending downward. Not getting much at all from the CCI. Breaking back down through negative 100 at this point. Full still. Turned down, but still holding right there around 50. That's a pretty neutral position. And the tricks, looks like it could be making higher lows the whole time through here. So that's something you look at in the long-term perspective of the chart. As I mentioned, the RSIs tend to not want to break below 30. 7 has pretty much bounced off it every time it touched it over the last 9 months. Pretty close to it again, so naturally I'll be looking for a bounce. One thing I see in these candles, just somewhere through here, you can see if you want to draw it there or through there, you can just see higher lows look like they're trying to be made since this touched this 5.5 cent mark back in June. And that's pretty important in the overall perspective of the chart. Another thing that's interesting about this chart is you can see it just can make huge moves in a single day. Now, granted, that can go either way, up or down. You can see here from 12 cents down to 10 cents in a day. But on the flip side, from here around 7 cents up to 10 cents. So it can be a pretty volatile stock. When I'm looking for a bounce, paying attention to that volatility is something that I certainly look for. From a support standpoint, this does get a bottom support all the way down here around 6 cents. But in the more near term, it also picks up some support at 8 cents, right where it closed. Now you can see it's kind of choppy through there. There's also some at 7 cents. But right now I'd have my eye on the 8 cent and 6 cent mark. Resistance doesn't come in for about 25% up there around a dime. So that'd be the first spot I'd be looking at for some resistance. Then it picks up a little bit more around 12 cents. And of course your top end up there at 15, which is just a huge move. I don't look for something like that today. I want to see how things deal with resistance levels. And just as importantly, I want to see it hold this support level and continue to make higher lows as I mentioned. And see if this chart's going to see an overall shift in trend and try and push its way upward. Also important to note are those two moving averages. 50-day is actually trending upward at this point. And if upward pressure comes, we can see a rotation again and a turn back up towards a golden cross of the 200-day. So this chart has some pretty interesting components to it with looking for a short-term bounce. It also has some long-term components to it with trying to see an overall shift and see if this is going to identify this area as a true bottom. So it's one to keep on the watch list from here forward and see how it performs. As always, it's merely my interpretation of the SGCA chart. Thank you for watching and trade smart.